we have a very big topic. By the way, welcome to the Car Rant podcast. Today's episode is one that I was not expecting to make. I was not even expecting to even think about doing this discussion because we talked about this. We sat there and analyzed data and information dealing with the Trump steel and aluminum import ban tax thing. It's really just a tax. It's a tariff, but that's what it is. Go study your economics courses. You'll know what I'm talking about. The thing is, this bit of information, I'm going to give a special shout out to my boy Matt Conroe. Thank you for showing me this because this is big. This is a very big deal. I'm going to pull it up here on my handy dandy laptop. He first sent me a link. Both of these are from the Hill newspaper, so if you want to check that out on your spare time, do it. The little blurb here is very concise, so I'm not going to read through most of it. But basically, given the intro that you guys saw, I think you can assume what we're talking about. And this is big news. This is very big news in the car world, especially for us car enthusiasts. Trump, you did okay with some things. You did really good on some things, actually. But this is something that you don't, for the love of God, don't do this. Don't. If I need to be the voice of God, don't do this. I'm going to quote The Hill on this one. President Trump wants to impose a total ban on the imports of German luxury cars, according to a news report from CNBC and German magazine Wirtschaftswoche. I'm going to leave it here on the screen if you want to see it. This is how it begins, apparently. And going through it and reading through, you find out that basically he puts it out there saying that, he wants to ban this. Here's the problem. Here's the problem with doing this. This is at the very bottom of this whole paragraph. A number of German automakers have plants in the U.S., including Mercedes-Benz in Alabama and BMW in South Carolina. So what you're telling me is he wants to ban German cars being brought over from other countries. Maybe not the ones that are being built here in America, but the fact is this is going to kill the economy. As far as the auto industry goes, this is going to hurt a lot. I saw that, and I was like, okay, I can deal with that. I can work with that. I'm a Japanese audio, that's true, auto enthusiast. No real secret, the shirt I'm wearing. I know you really can't see it because of how I've got this video set up, but it's got 2 GTRs on it. So there you go, R34 and an R35. My point being, I like my Japanese cars. So I thought, because there are several Japanese car companies based both outside and inside the United States, like Honda, Acura, Toyota Lexus, formerly Toyota Lexus Scion, there's some plants that are here. Nissan Infiniti, whatever. Point being, I figured we'd be okay. Less than, maybe an hour and a half later, here's what I get. You ready for this? Japanese Prime Minister, we cannot accept U.S. auto tariffs. I'm going to read some of this because, this gets good. Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe says his country cannot accept potential U.S. auto import tariffs being considered by Trump administration. Quote, "It's hard for Japan to understand and we cannot accept it." Oh, okay. In other words, it's gonna hurt. Literally in this very article from The Hill, which I'll leave links for in the description box, the U.S., number one, the U.S. is the largest market for Japanese car imports. What a surprise. Come on, people. We know this. Subis are huge here. Nissans are a big deal. We know Japanese cars are big in America. But this tariff, this blocking of Japanese cars coming to the country like that, that would be a huge problem. I'm going to read through some more of this article to make a point here. Trump has instructed Commerce Secretary Wilbur Ross to investigate whether auto imports pose a national security risk to the United States. The investigation lays the groundwork for the administration to use a law to raise tariffs up to 25% on imported auto parts and vehicles. Now, here's the reason why this is important. I had made a video, and I'm going to put it out there that I did this. I made a video talking about how the Trump steel and aluminum import tariff wasn't going to really hurt American cars and car sales because it's the raw materials, it wasn't the goods. This changes everything. Let's be full-blown hypothetical right here, okay? Say Japan does block cars being brought into the United States from itself, from Japanese plants in Japan. If it does this, well, we'll never see the Supra. We won't ever see any other new iterations of other future potential sports cars, let alone the sedans and SUVs that we know are going to come out of the country. Just the stuff that people like you and I, if you're watching this, you're probably a car enthusiast, people like you and I care about. That would be a absolute shame, because then we'd have to wait till, 2035 or later before we saw anything from that market. Here's the second half of that. It says on it says on imported vehicles and parts. So if you're trying to get, say, an HKS blowout valve from Japan, or you're trying to get good quality turbo parts from Tomei and Tomei arms and whatnot, or even wheels like Works, which are some of the biggest, hottest three-piece wheels on the market right now, you're not going to be able to. That's going to kill, when I say kill, I mean annihilate the Japanese car parts market. Because think of it this way, okay? I could go on Craigslist right now, and get a set of wheels for about $1,000. If that comes into effect, well, two things. Number one, RPF ones are going to pretty much stay right around the same cost because there are so many of them on the market. But other wheels like Work Emotion DR9s, yeah, there we go, are going to cost a fortune. They're already expensive. They're already like $3,000 for a really clean set. You're looking at possibly seeing things go up to $9,000 and $10,000 for a set of wheels, guys, because they're not going to be able to come over anymore. They're not going to be able to be shipped. The only way you're going to be able to get them are from literally auto import part people like Used.Racing Parts on Instagram. Shout out to you guys for my dope Recaro seats that you guys will see later. They're based in Thailand, so they'll be able to get their parts sent from Japan to Thailand. But that means that they're going to be able to mark things up tremendously. Basically, I'll use the example of my seats. Since I mentioned, I paid about $1,500 to have them purchased and shipped from Thailand. That means that the middleman in that whole situation could then mark it up as much as 300%. And the only reason why is because they don't have a ban on them. They're allowed to do that. It's called capitalism. We love it and we hate it because of that reason. It means that if you want something and you can't get it direct, you can get it indirectly and pay a huge surplus fine. Not in that kind of sense, but I mean in the sense of someone else is doing the legwork to get it out of the country and all that fun stuff. Add in this fact here of the 25% import tariff tax on top. So if, say, you bought seats, they should be worth $1,000, but because of all the markups with the middleman and doing all that fun stuff, you're looking at $2,000. 25% of that is $500. Now, you haven't even paid shipping yet. Now, you're looking at $3,000 for seats. Now, for some of you, that's like, oh yeah, that's normal because I have Bride Lomax or whatever. But take the cost of your Bride Lomax, your $3,000 seats, and up it by $2,000. Okay, now you're spending as much as a cheap, beat-up piece of junk car like you could here in America, or a nice one. You know, it depends on what model you're looking at. But the point remains, you're buying seats for the cost of a car. Okay, that's how bad this is gonna get. Oh, guys, you don't get it. I hope you get it. But like when I had this revealed to me, In other words, people, if you want your imported car, you better buy it now. If you're trying to get that imported GTR, you better buy it now, because you're not going to be able to afford it later. You're either not going to be able to get it, or it's going to cost you an even higher cost than you were already anticipating paying, because you'll pay the taxes in the country you're getting it from, and then some because of the 25%. So if you bought a car for $10,000, you're now going to spend $2,500. This is dumb. This is terrible. This is stupid, okay? Because now you're taking a great money-making market, something that's helped out the American economy in more than one way because it gives jobs to different people, whether it's in warehouse jobs or shipping jobs or whatever the case might be. There's opportunities to be had there. You're blowing it all away. In fact, this article I'm looking at dealing with the side of Japan not liking this, at the very bottom it says, a new study says that the tariffs could boost the U.S. auto sector by nearly 92,000 jobs. Woo, good thing. Here's the problem. But would cost a total of 250,000 jobs across other industries in the country. Basically, these other companies that have plants here in the States are now not going to be able to use them because they can't bring the cars over, because they're not allowed to bring the parts to America. They're not going to be able to afford to do that. Basically, you're going to have markets just liquefy like that. There's not going to be room for any opportunity of growth. Because you think about it, okay? Say BMW has to pull out of the market because they can't afford to be here in America. Dude, that would kill places like LA and New York, where luxury cars and specifically European sports cars have a really good foothold. And then you have places that are very Japanese friendly, also like Los Angeles or here in DC. There's a pretty good Subaru and other Japanese import scene. Those places are going to suffer tremendously. Those places are going to be hurting tremendously because now these cars that everyone called cheap suddenly are going to cost a whole lot more than your cheap Chevys and your cheap Fords. Because now they're going to mark them things up so high that no one would be able to touch it. Or if they did, the only reason why they touched it is because of the fact that now there's a glamour status added to it because of the cost. Kind of like Infinity, how that all went down. So, no, I don't approve. I don't approve. Being totally transparent, I do agree with some of the things that Trump has done because they've been beneficial and whatnot. This is horrifyingly bad. This is so, like if you were my child, bro, I would throw you straight in the corner of your bedroom and lock you in there until you decided to change your mind, because this is bad, dude. This is so bad. I don't know. How do you go from a gloriously prosperous economy to, here, let's just put a giant freaking hole in it by completely deleting potential trade markets into the country? I get it. You know, there are taxes on our products going in other places. I know that in places like Korea, a pair of $25 jeans costs $250 or more. I get it. I'm aware of that. Don't do it to the cars coming in. Come on. If you're going to be like that, it's just going to create hot button issues all the way up. We get it. We know Trump loves to be hot button. And sometimes it's been beneficial. This is the one time for me, as a car guy, that I am not happy. That I am sitting here going, come on, dude. Like, what are you thinking? You get out of this frame of mind. Please, please. For the good tax-paying Americans who don't use welfare and all that stuff, just so I can appeal to your sensibilities here, President Trump. Don't hurt us. Okay? We pay our bills. We pay our taxes. We buy American products. We like our Wrangler jeans and all of that stuff. But please, let us enjoy our little hot boxes, our little rice boxes, our little four bangers from Japan, and our straight sixes and crazy bi-turbo V8s from places like Germany. Don't do this, please. Because we need these cars. Why do we need them? Because they're our passion. They're what we're into. They're one of the things that we grew up aspiring to own. It's the literal American dream of the opportunity to do better than what you anticipated. And by you doing this, You're killing the American dream for that young aspiring car guy who just wants to try something different. You're killing that American dream for that guy who's grew up in a family of German V8s, who wanted to do something different aside from their typical, LS motor, and they tried to do something else. You're killing that dream for that car guy who wants to explore other options, who wants to try growing in an economic market that really right now without these tariffs is good. Please don't ruin it for us. Don't make it so that we can't do what we love, because in the end we'll find other ways to get around it, or you'll just have a lot of really dissatisfied people, and that's not what you want. If you're in charge of the government, you don't want dissatisfied people, because those are voters. Those are people who are going to put you back in office. Do the smart thing. Don't put these bans on these cars. Don't put these tariffs on these cars, because you want them on the street so that people like myself and my neighbors will buy them, because they'll still put money in your pocket. Just don't put it up so high, the taxes on them, that no one's willing to pay for them. We get it. You're trying to simulate American jobs, but you're also costing American jobs by doing this. You're costing companies who make their money bringing things over, importers, shippers. You're costing them money. That's money that you could be using for infrastructure, for healthcare reform, for things that actually matter right now. I don't get into politics, but because politics have gotten into my business, I'm going to get back into theirs. Don't do this. Please, for the love of God, don't do this. That will be the biggest mistake of your career if you do this. Let me know what you guys think. I'm going to end it here. Let me know what you guys think, because the way I see it, this is a problem. And this is a problem that it's not going to be easy to fix. The only real way to fix it is by basically rescinding what you said, by taking away the tariffs, these exorbitantly high tariffs. Get rid of them. That personally is what I think will fix all these problems, because the threat of it, honestly, yeah, some sales are going to go up across the world, and especially here in the States, who buy parts from Japan and all these other places. Yeah, you're going to boost the economy artificially because you're using scare tactics, but it's not good. It's not good. For people like me, an Evo 8 owner whose car is still in the shop because it needs parts from places like Japan, don't do this. You're going to kill. I just thought of something, people. If they go forward with this, they're going to kill the drift car community. You want to know why? Because Falcon tires come from Japan. Toyo tires come from Japan. A lot of these good tires are not American made. They're not. I personally am a big Falcon guy because I've tried 2 of their different tires and I love both. Those won't be able to come over because that's considered a Japanese auto part. Let this sink in. This is bad news. But again, I want to know what you guys think. Leave a comment down below or send us a message. We'll check them out. We try to keep up on that stuff pretty regularly. All of that said, love you guys. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. Do me a favor. If you're watching this still, if you're subscribed, or if you haven't subscribed, please do. Once you are subscribed, if you tap that bell, make sure you check your sub box every week. YouTube's been doing something funky and weird, and it's not been good for us smaller channels who don't always have the most consistent of viewership. So please, do us a favor. Check that sub box. Check in regularly. See what we're up to, because we're going to try and upload as often as we can. It's just, right now, we're in this weird state where, like, the weather's not always been the best, or the situation's not the best at the house for us to build a 240. And right now, my car, the Evo 8's in the shop. So bear with us while we deal with all of that. There was a bit of bad news, and I'm waiting to find out just how bad the bad news is, and we'll film that, and it'll be part of the regular show, not here on the podcast, but stay tuned for that. Otherwise, God bless you guys. I love you all, and we'll see you on the next podcast. God bless and peace.